Hello everyone and welcome back to another Universe Sandbox video, and today we're going to be doing part 3 of making a solar system with the elements of the periodic table. So one object for every single element. So far we've made it to element 26, which is iron. So without further ado guys, let's go ahead and move on. So yeah, we last finished with iron here, so number 26. So we're now moving on to cobalt, element number 27. So without further ado, let's hop straight into this. If you've not seen the previous episode, of course, as well, definitely go ahead and check those out first, where we created all the elements up to this point as well, because we've got some pretty cool ones so far. But anyways, let's get straight into this. So, cobalt. Now, I know this one's a bluish, sort of silvery sort of one, so we can have a more bluish object in here. So it should be pretty cool, actually. So, we'll go with just a generic rocky object here. That is fine. Place it there. Okay, so element 27. So let's go ahead and some cobalt. There you go. Cool. So down here. So if you search it up officially, it says a silvery blue metal. So yeah, we'll take the blue into account here. So slow down time. There you go. Okay, so I feel like it's a bit dim here. How far were you from us? So we're 18 AU away now. Okay. So if we just look at I want to see how bright the star's sort of emitting. So, okay, the zone's over there. How bright is our hydrogen star? So it's 17 suns, so it should be reaching fairly far. Okay. Right, anyways, back to cobalt. So, straight down here. Now, I'm thinking we could have quite a cool looking texture for this, because I don't want to keep doing just default texture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to surface. Now, I want to have some elevation maps. So I want to go for one of Saturn's moons, because you get all the cool crater looks like. So like that, for instance. So there we go. I really do feel it's too dark. Do we need to? I think we may need to turn our star up. Or maybe this is just a very dim. The direction, like, compared to realistic. I mean, yeah, you can see it's a little dimmer. Okay. Right, we'll have to alter the star's power, I think. So, okay, I'm going to go with the texture of Tethys. Now, a bluish silver, so that we could have some really cool sort of appearance to using the default textures, or not the default textures, the actual textures of the moons and planets. So, a bluish silver metal, you say. So, you could get something pretty cool like this, hopefully. So, I really do like the high elevation in the blue. I think that does look pretty darn cool. So let's just have a... I don't want to make it too intense, but we do need to have a fairly strong look. So let's just get a full look at the planet. So that's what we've got. Yeah, what do you think of that? Can't really see the big crater though, which is a bit annoying. Yeah, no idea where the crater is. It should have a giant crater on it. Maybe we need to recolour... Oh, I think we've got to put that in blue as well. The world of cobalt. I do like those blue areas sticking out there. That does look cool. Oh, yeah. There's the crater. Oh, there's one of them, yeah. There's the big crater there. You can see it properly now. Very cool. Okay, so. Maybe just a slightly more pale blue. Maybe if we make this one... Oh, no, we've got to have a mix of both, I think, to make this world really, really shine. Or maybe we could have it all. Oh, God. Ooh. Maybe we could have it as like a lighter... Ooh. That does look quite cool. A bluish silver, what do you think of that? Is there any atmosphere on here at all? Is that why it's a little... No atmosphere, okay. Very weird stuff. There we go, I think I'll go with that for cobalt. So yeah, a nice bluey silverer kind of look to it. So, looks pretty cool actually. So there we are. And then trail colour. A bluey silvery kind of trail. There you go. There's cobalt. Looking good. But I think what we need to do is the star itself. We need more luminosity here. So I'm going to go ahead and throw a save in as well. Just because I'm messing with the star. Usually messing with the stars can cause some big problems. So we'll just let that save first. And then what I want to do is I want to make the star slightly brighter. So we'll see how this behaves. So luminosity. I kind of just want to double it, to be honest, because none of these worlds need to be habitable anyway. So 34, that should hopefully give us a bit more of a boost. We'll have to keep an eye on the inner system. We may have to expand the system out just a little bit. So Oh, Oh, yeah, actually, what we can do is we can just use the full controls of the system. So all we need to do is do this. Expand. Press that once, and it will push everything a little further out. Just to give more space between the planets as well. So that sort of balances it out a bit. So there we go. Okay, so Cobalt. So hopefully it should be a little brighter here now. Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah, it's much brighter. I'm still not convinced. I feel like the texture of Tethys is kind of... Maybe we need to do this, actually. So... yeah, surface. Where are we? I need to do... So, elevation map 2. So, if I put this to Tethys as well... There we go. That's why. There we go. Now it's looking better. We need to put them both to Tethys. There you go. Okay, now it shows up a lot nicer. There we go. I'm still thinking... I do think there needs to be a little... The blue just doesn't stand out enough. I kind of want a bit more in there. So, maybe the lower elevation. Oh... Now that does look good. Yeah, I'm going to stick with that. I quite like that. So, just a tad bit. Just so the... Yeah. A little more in there. Just let it do a full rotation just so we can see the whole object as well. So, that's the coolest looking area there. Definitely. But obviously it only shows up on that part of the object. So, we just have a full look of it. So there you go. That is the real, sort of the real deal about this object. So maybe this needs a little more colour to it. If we just have a look at the... So that's obviously the colourful side. So if we look at the other side, so... Oh yeah, we can give it a bit more of a bluer tone as well. So there you go. So that gives it a full... Yeah, I'll stick with that. Okay, Cobalt, done. So it does sort of stand out a bit, the blue. I don't want it being too... Yeah, so a bluish silvery shade for Cobalt there. So, yeah. Cool. Nice. Okay, so moving on. Next up, we've got nickel. So, again, another silvery white metal. But, again, we can use the sort of textures to make this a little more interesting. So, we're going to put him there. 2 AU away. I mean, it doesn't need to be that much further away. You can have it fairly close. 1 AU from Cobalt. Next object out. So, nickel. Here it is. There we go. It's EL, isn't it? Not LE. There we go. And this is element number 28. Voila. So, again, let's give it a cool texture. So, down here. So, another metal kind of world. I'm going to go over Enceladus. Yeah, let's go over Enceladus. Let's see how that sort of churns out. So, where are we? Enceladus. There you go, okay. So double Enceladus. Then I just need to change the colours of this guy. So obviously we need silvers. Mainly silvers here. So there we are. Is there some sort of water on here or something? It looks a bit... So that's lowered... Oh! Okay, gotcha. Right. Doesn't look like the Enceladus texture very much though. It does look a bit weird. So if I go to the actual map, Enceladus should look more like that. So that's a bit weird why it's doing that. So custom. I'm still using Enceladus's maps, aren't I? Yeah. Huh. Maybe it's because it's expanded out to a larger... I don't know actually. Yeah, a bit bizarre, isn't it? Oh, whoa, don't do that. Right. I mean, there's a few little craters there, actually. I mean, yeah, I'll roll with it. I mean, the world of nickel. I mean, why not? That does look quite cool, actually, though. So, yeah, we'll keep that like that. There we go. So, nickel. Yes, not the most interesting world, granted, but there you go. So, there's the world of nickel. We get a little bigger. There we go. A little buff up in size. All right, the world of nickel. Done. Cool. Okay, next up we got copper. Well, we know what colour copper is. So, we can make copper quite an interesting world, actually. So, there we are. Okay. So, this is element 29 now for copper. So, we're unfortunately going to have to remove all this nice Earth-likeness here. So, unfortunately, we've got to get rid of all of that because we don't need it. So, surface. Atmosphere gets completely wiped off the face, unfortunately. No water either. That's all reduced to nothingness. Okay, and then texture. Now we can definitely make a cool looking texture with copper. So what elevation do we want to use here? So about iapetus, a double iapetus. How about that? What if I just turn off the second map? Would that do anything? It's quite bland, isn't it? I think we do need that iapetus. Okay, let's see how this looks. There's a big crater there as well, which is cool. So, right, copper, obviously. Oranges. Oh yeah, okay. I have a bit of a... No, we're definitely we're going hard on the orange. Definitely. Yeah. Okay, so how do we want to... Maybe some darker areas just to make the texture shine a bit as well. So how does that look on a full rotation? So you got the darker patch there as well. That's just the way iapetus is. So I don't know if I really want to use it for this one. So let's have a little look at the other textures we can pick. So Ganymede, double Ganymede. How's that look? A Ganymede made of copper. I kind of want what about Callista? I kind of want someone with craters. No, it still look quite boring actually. No, I want something that's looking pretty... Deimos. Double Deimos. That's quite pretty crazy looking. Mercury. Mercury will probably give us some good... Yeah. Ooh. Turn that off. Oh yeah, that looks way better like that, yeah. Yeah, the second map, not a big fan. Kind of puts everything out of place there. It's a bit strange. I mean, what if you had this as a separate... No, let's just stick with one elevation map. I think that looks better like that. So there's Mercury. Copper. Copper. A Mercury made of copper. So I quite like that customization being the darker copper. Then we've got the middle elevation, which is that. So we'll have that as like a nice light sort of shade. And the high elevation, we have as the deeper orange, I guess. Somewhere like that. Maybe if that has a little darker colour as well. There you are. So the world of copper, everybody. What do you think of that? Yeah. Nice. Looking good. Okay, next up we've got zinc. So what colour is zinc? A silvery white. Ah, there's a lot of silvery whites, isn't there? So there's copper. So that's probably the coolest one in this sort of region of the system. So, okay, so next up, let's take another jump out. Let's go here. Let's let the system run a bit as well, just to make sure everyone is working. I do want to check the inner system out, because since we buffed the star up, I want to see sort of what's going on down there. So, okay, the world of zinc. So this is element 30. So only 30 objects in, and we're already into 3 episodes. So let's try and get to at least get to element 40 today, which is Chromium. So let's pick up the pace a bit. So down here, zinc. So again, silvery white. Okay, there we are. So surface, turn earth elevation map 2 as well. And now down here, so let's go straight for something interesting. What about a Titan texture? How does that look? So that's on there. Any water, go away. Atmosphere needs to go as well. Get rid of that. Okay, so this is a Titan texture. Okay. Elevation map 2 as well. What if I do Titan, how does that look? No, not really seeing much difference, to be honest. Right, okay, so how does this look like when I customize it up? It doesn't really look like a Titan texture at all to me, but I guess we'll stick with it. So it looks horrible. No, we're not using that. Ugh. Don't know what's going on there, but the Titan texture is a bit busted. Look at that. No, thank you. That's more like it. The texture of Rhea. Okay, let's just give it a little more. Ooh. So just another silvery white. Ooh, shiny. Very shiny. Kind of on a weird rotation as well, actually. Silvery white. I think that looks fairly okay. So there's zinc. Done. There you are. Okay. Cool. Right, let's just let everything run a bit. I just want to watch as the system plays. So let's check out the inner system here. I want to see what's going on temperature-wise in the inner system here. So helium, how are we doing? So this is at 335. Lithium, only 50 degrees. Okay, we got way more space to play with our star then. So let's just go ahead and double up. I'll just increase luminosity more. Go up to 50 odd. That's all right. Yeah. Okay, let's see how that plays. So there we go. A few bits of temperature all for the inner objects here. There's the world of oxygen. World of fluorine. Neon. So that's on the edge of the near the edge of the zone, I guess. Okay. Okay, alright, never mind. Cool, so that should hopefully give us some more light further out, so we'll watch how that plays out. Okay, next up we've got gallium. So that's element 31, so what colour is gallium? Silvery metal. Okay. Right. Another silvery metal. Okay. Maybe we have something slightly more offset from the orbit, so make it a little higher up, just to make it a little more interesting. See, its orbit isn't on the same plane as everyone else. So here we are, another Earth-like world. We do not want any of that. Get rid of all of that atmosphere, completely ruining this world. Okay, so like that, element 31, and then yet again it's just another silvery world. So again, I won't even bother with a texture here. We're just going to skip through the boring objects and get to the more interesting ones. So just a silver world, that's all you can expect really. So there we go, so straight through there. Okay, next up we have got Germanium. So yeah, some of the lesser known elements. So if you want to learn your periodic table, just watch every planet in this system. A silvery white semi-metal. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so we're going to have a different orbital plane for these guys. We'll start to have the orbits a little more different as we get further out. So, anyways, the name of this one. So yeah, Germanium. So. Oh, and then this is element 32. Did we put 31 for the last one? Yeah, we did. Okay. So again, this is silvery white. So I mean, we'll go for slightly different texture this time. So let's go with Sedna. How does a Sedna texture look? Doesn't look anything like the Sedna texture. If I do Sedna. Doesn't look like it at all. I don't really know what's going on there. Because we all know what the Sedna texture looks like. It's got all the cool craters and stuff. But this doesn't look like it. I don't know what's going on there. There's a very bizarre looking planet. I mean, what is going on there? Yeah, I guess we'll have it slightly. Just have some more wacky worlds in here. So again, we'll stick with that. Okay, so next up we got arsenic. So element 33. Silver grey. Hey. Yes, we'll just try and skip through the most boring elements, all the boring colours. We're not interested really in those. We want to get to the cool stuff. So we've got bromine coming up in a few elements' time. So that we know obviously we'll have a slightly more interesting one to customise there. So should be pretty cool. Again, no more water, thank you. And silvery grey. So it's a more greyer looking world. So there you go. And then yeah, element 33. Yeah, 33. Voila. Okay, cool. So now we've got selenium. So I think this one's a gas. So it's Selenium. So what exactly? So is this? Just trying to work out. Is this a gas or a liquid? Oh, I don't know actually. Oh no, it is a metal. Yeah, it's not a gas. Okay. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, so yeah, so it's just another grey metallic. Interesting. So it looks like it may have a slight red to it, actually, so... Yeah, there's pictures of it with like a reddish look, so I guess we can have a more red. Okay, we can have something a little more interesting here. Because there's a lot of pictures of like a red sort of powder for this element, so... Okay. Interesting, okay. Yeah, element 34 of the periodic table, yes, really, okay. Okay, we've got a more interesting red looking world here. Alright, okay. So, next planet out, we can have something slightly more interesting. So, here we are. Okay, so element 34. Right, so down here. Right, what we want to do is... Now, what... I really want to sort of use the Sedna texture, really. But, I mean, it just doesn't come out very well. So, again, we can try again. So, down here. Oh. No, I don't want to do that. But yeah, I mean, for instance, map, Sedna, should look like this. That. Now that would look quite cool, but when you put it in here, because we want to customize the colour of it, go to Sedna, and then Sedna again, down here. So where I Sedna, then you take the texture off, because that's the only way we can customize it. You get this horrible looking thing, so that just doesn't look good at all. So, unfortunately, we can't use that. What about a Mars? What about a Mars look? Yeah, okay. Right, Mars and Mars. How about that? Put that on. Alright, okay, this could be more promising. So... Ah. Alright. So, obviously, as we know, a Mars look to it. So, I want a reddish. So, it's a reddish, silvery sort of look to it. But let's go with... That doesn't really, the high elevation is just the volcanoes, isn't it? So we don't really need to have those as a deeper red, I guess. So how does that look on a full? Just so it doesn't look like Mars as well, have it slightly more upright. So there we go. So what do you think of that? Obviously you see the volcanoes as well. Maybe we just have it slightly inverted just so it doesn't look like Mars at all. We'll try and make it look different somewhat anyway. So got a bit of a red look going there. I mean, yeah, not too shabby actually. So that's too much red. Deeper red. Maybe we could get away with a deeper look to it, but I think I'll stick with that. Just not too red, but still a bit of red in there. So okay. So maybe slightly enhanced on the colours on this guy. Okay, next up we got Bromine. Hey. Okay, so Bromine. Should be pretty cool. So this is part of the halogens as well, so should be pretty cool. So this one, and we can have it's a liquid as well. So our first sort of liquid kind of world here. Because we don't have any... We only have gas and rock, or gas and solid so far. And this is a liquid at room temperature, so we're going to go with a liquid world. So, yeah, so far we've only got gas giants and rocky planets, haven't we? So, yeah, we're going to have our first liquid of the system. So, random rocky, yes, again. And then the world of bromine, however you want to say it. This should be quite cool, actually, so... It's an all a liquid, so all we really need to do is flood a planet up. So we'll give it an atmosphere as well, just so the water's looked after. So it already has water for us, which is perfect. Oi, paste. There we go. So this is element 35, bromine. Okay, so down here, first of all, atmosphere, straight to red, because bromine is a reddish brown colour. So first of all, also water. We're going to flood out. Need to fill this guy up. So, settle. I mean, ideally, we need a very, very heavy ocean world for this. So, no hydrogen. But it's a liquid world. We want a lot of liquid. So, yeah, no solids, really, in there. Mostly liquid. No ice patches either, please. So, we may have to turn the greenhouse effect up just to keep that away, because I don't want that. So... let's just let it play out. Just want to see how it behaves. So it's going to cool down, so we definitely need some more atmosphere layers. That should be fine. Turn that up. ATM layer. I mean, where are we? So nowhere near an ATM. So let's just get that buffed up a bit. Okay. Ooh, looking pretty. That's just changed a lot. So there we are. Okay. So where are we sitting on the habitable zone? So we need to make sure we're in it for a start. So we're nowhere near that. So we need to really. Yeah, something like that works. 157 layers. Let's just make sure. We just need it to be in positive temperatures. So put it to 0 degrees. Let it warm up. Okay, let's see roughly where it ends up. So let's just let the simulation play for a bit. I want to see where it goes. So how high are we going? Oh, 20s. Okay, that's more than enough. Okay, perfect. So we just lower that down a bit. Don't want to go too insane because we need the temperature to be there. We don't want it being too high. So let's go somewhere in the green probably. Okay, cooling down. Okay, not ideal. Back to this, so let's increase it up a bit more. 30. Quite a warm world, maybe a little too much actually. A little further down. Okay, what are we thinking about that? Yeah, okay, that's looking perfect. Okay, so let's just slow it down. See how we're looking here. So I do think that this is a little too much on the clouds. So that's what it looks like underneath. Okay, so I want to fade out the clouds a bit. I don't want these poles either. These have got to go, so I want those off. Those two. So ice and snow off. Don't. Oh, actually, no. We'll keep that. So bromine, a reddish brown colour. So I think something like that is going to be ideal. So we have a slight mix of red and orange, and quite a deep brownish shade. So somewhere like that. Maybe we need a little more. That's too red for me. There's a tad more orange in there. Reddish brown. There you go. So something like that for bromine. Okay, now that's looking pretty darn cool actually. So it doesn't matter about these because it's all underwater anyway. Now snow and ice. Again, all I need to do with this simply is just have it as a cool, deep sort of reddish shade in there as well. So. Then ice, same deal with the ice. So it all blends nicely together. So even if there's a bit of it frozen, you can see down there it still kind of matches our planet theme. So ice is the one we want, isn't it? So let's just dim that all the way down to sort of look like that. I don't want the sea level to rise though. I don't really want any surface at all, to be honest. So settle water. It's getting bigger. Can we just flood all that? Oh, what's going on there? Whoa, what's going on? Whoa, what is that all about? Strange stuff, eh? So we're losing radius. We are. There we go. Let's just give it more mass. That's probably what it. Yeah, it needs more mass. It's not big enough. We'll make it roughly an Earth size. There we go. That's more like it. Okay, right. We'll stick with that at the bottom. I guess we can try and give it a texture maybe. It doesn't really matter actually. And then clouds. We've got the more reddish coloured oceans. We'll go with the clouds. We'll go with a more brown sort of shade, I guess, for the clouds. So deep orange. And then maybe we could turn them up again. Somewhere there, I'd say. Is that too much red on the oceans? I'm just thinking. And then also we have an atmosphere as well we can put on. So get rid of that. Turn that all the way down. Have it as quite a thin. We've got our brown apps here and there as well. Increase the thickness a bit. There we go. So our first liquefied world. Can I just melt all? Get rid of this stupid ice. I'm not really a fan at all. Melt. Go away. There you go. But still, oh, so annoying. Melt. Get rid of it. I want a full ball of liquid. Maybe we just need more temperature. So maybe I'll just buff it up a bit more, just so it has more temperature. So let's just pull it up to 37. Just keep it as quite a hot world, so that should hopefully keep away the ice. But there we go, the world of bromine. So our first fully liquefied world here. So that's pretty cool. And I just want one mass of Earth, please. Stop changing. There you go. Okay, cool. Right, that should hopefully be bromine sorted out now. So that is a pretty unique world so far. The only liquid world we have so far. So pretty cool. So let's go ahead and make it deep red. What a bromine. There you go. Excellent. Cool. So now we're moving on to Krypton. So I have no idea what colour this is. Colourless. So it's one of the noble gases, yeah. So it has no colour. colourless. But it is a gas, so we can bring in a gas giant for this. So, anything I can use? Oh, I kind of want to use one of the glowing worlds, actually, and just have it as like a reflective kind of white world then in that case. So let's place this here. Okay, here we go. So, all I need to simply do is just get rid of the pinks, make it all white. So, just make the remaining shades white there. So there we go. Make it very reflective. There you go. So a colourless world. That's all you're getting, pretty much. Maybe we have some slightly, just so you can see a few of the features. Maybe we just have a few slightly grayer bands in there. Just so it's not all boring, I guess, but just have it as a very, very bright, reflective world nonetheless. So there you go. So you can see, even with a really deep shade, still not many features to see. There you go. I'm going to stick with that. It's just a very, very reflective world for a colourless gas, because it is one of the noble gases. So there you go. So this is element 36. Krypton. There you go. Cool. Very, very nice indeed. So colourless is white. Okay. Next up, we're moving to rubidium. It's element 37. Okay. Cool. So rubidium. It's another liquid. Rubidium can be a liquid at room temperature. It's a soft silvery white metallic element. Ah. So what colour is it in its liquid form then? It looks to just be a silvery liquid. We don't actually have a silvery liquid yet. So a second liquid world together in this episode. So again, we just need another basic rocky world. Wait, where are we? Yeah. Random rocky. Place it there. Okay, so we're getting some more interesting elements. As we go further down the periodic table, we are seeing... There's still a few boring silvery metals, but we are seeing some more diverse kind of elements now. So, excellent. So, element 37. Cool. Right, so again, with this guy, I want it to be quite high on the greenhouse, because we do need a lot of ocean. So again, it's an all mostly liquid, isn't it? So we want liquid to be the dominant factor here. Let's settle, melt all the damn ice and snow. Go, no, I don't want to freeze, melt. There you go. So, oh yeah. And then this is a silvery element, so just a silvery ocean. That's all you need to do. Yeah, nice and simple. A few clouds hidden in there as well, but yeah, just an all liquid world. And then all I need to simply do is just get the atmosphere buffed up so we can keep the temperature going. And then down here, infrared up. Then we're going to need probably a good amount of layers to keep this guy warm. So maybe that was a little overkill, which it was. Somewhere like there should hopefully keep that world fairly settled, actually. So let's just make sure it's all functioning properly. Let's let it roll. I want to keep an eye on that Krypton gas giant as well, because I'm a little concerned it is a little too large for where it is in the orbit. So I think it does need a little increase in its orbit. It's only 5 masses of Earth, it's not too big, but I want to give it a slight increase out. Just keep an eye on the inner system as well, because there's a lot of elements in there, so we may need to keep continually changing things to make sure that these orbits don't... Because you can see it's sulfur and Phoebus, they are quite close. I think we may need another buff to split them up a bit, so what we need to simply do is... This will probably upset our worlds a bit, but we do need to expand the system at more, but then in that case I can also rebuff the star up a bit just to counter that. So put up to 60 luminosity. Okay, so there you are. Cool. So this is 60 degrees. Woo, that's too much. Down here. No, I need atmosphere layers. Oi. What? Atmosphere layer? Where's that gone then? Aha, yes. A little more there. Alright, okay. Cool. because I hopefully should keep it fairly settled now. So down here, all I need to simply do is just fade this down a bit. And there you go. So another world of liquid. So a greyed out ocean. And that's all it really needs to be, actually. So very nice indeed. So another liquid world. Next up, we got strontium. Look how many elements we got. This is getting pretty ridiculous now. Okay, right. So it's STRONTI. So these are all what they don't teach you about in school, right? All these other elements you don't hear about much. So, a soft silvery metal that burns in air and reacts with water. That's pretty cool. It's used in fireworks. Cool. A soft silvery metal. Okay, so another solid object. So, back to the solids. No liquids or gases again. So back down here. Another solid. We don't need a world with oceans, please. Get rid of that. No liquids or atmosphere needed. Bye-bye. Okay. Grey, and then simply be you. We could try just the boring old look here, to be honest. We'll try and make it a little more interesting, so there you go. I'll just stick with Phobos's texture, why not? Cool. Still grey, so it doesn't really need to be anything other than that, so cool. So that's element 38. So we'll finish at element 40 today, so we've done a good 10 plus elements now, so pretty cool. Excellent. Right, next up we have got yttrium. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that one in. So what is this one? YTTRIUM. Silvery white, moderately soft metal. Okay. So element 39 down here. It's named calm. Huh. 39. Voila. Paste. Cool. Again, no ward, so we don't need any of that. Scram. And then atmosphere is a big bye-bye as well. So don't need that either. Gone. Then a silvery white metal. Have some white in there. And have the silver. There you are. Nice and simple. And then to finish off today's episode, we have got Chromium. So, what colour is Chromium? Silver grey transition metal. It's highly resistant to corrosion. So, let's just look at some images of it as well. Yeah, just another silvery kind of metal we've got going here. So, that is what we'll be finishing up on today. So, there we are. I'm looking forward to getting to gold and platinum, especially, and osmium. I think there'll be some pretty cool ones. And mercury as well. I definitely want to do mercury. So, oh no, hang on. No, Chromium, not that one. Let's get that copied over. But it did mention about this element going black a bit, so we'll try and have some in there. So, it's the Arabic word for gold colour. Cool. Silver grey transition metal. Okay. So when it's oxidized, it can turn black. So I guess we could have a bit of black in there just to sort of represent that. So again, we don't need any of this. Okay, it's already got the black area on for us, actually. Okay, so see how we can make this function. So just fill it all up. That's the contrast, isn't it? So if we turn that down. Okay, so silvery grey. I'm not sure I like this texture. Okay, we'll do something a little different to finish up on, actually. So let's get rid of that. Right, so down here, Vesta. Now, can we make off those black craters? Can we make those black craters kind of shine a bit? I mean, when it's oxidized, it goes black. But I think that's a little too much black. So let's try a different texture. Definitely not Venus. Titan, no. Sedna, no. They're a bit weird, those ones. Pluto, no. Still, I just want tiny little bits of black. Io. Earth is a no-go. Dione. Oh, Deimos. Oh, okay. About Deimos. Again, that's too much for me. It needs to be... I just want little patches of the black to represent the black. So, Callisto. No. Oh, Phobos. Oh, yes. Perfect. Yes. That is exactly what I'm after. And then... something like that. Yeah. This is a chromium, so when it goes, or when it oxidizes, it goes black. But other than that, it is a silvery white appearance. So there you go. Looks quite cool, actually. Those sort of burn marks, almost sort of oxidized marks, we can call them. So pretty cool. And it's also tilted a bit. So let's have a little full look of it. Yeah, I like. That's pretty cool, actually. Has it got a second layer on this guy? Yeah, got the craters there. Yeah. Well, that completely ruins it. Putting that on. No, we're not having that. So there you go. What do you think of that? Quite like that, actually. Does look good, actually. Yeah. So it's a chromium. There we go. So that is where we're going to finish today's episode of making a solar system with every element of the periodic table. So what do you think of that? I mean, look how big the system's getting now. We have expanded this guy out pretty crazy. So there we are. So next episode we'll be starting off with Nibonium, and we'll be getting to silver and tin. They're two of the ones that will be standing out. So pretty cool. So, with that all said and done, guys, though, I hope you've really enjoyed today's episode. And actually, before we finish, let's get a lineup of everyone so far. So, what do you think of this? There's Helium, the biggest of the world. Fluorine, nitrogen. What's happened to aluminium? Why is it green? Oh, get that. I know what that is. Get off. Vegetation, that's why. Scram. There you go. So, Krypton and Argon, quite similar appearances if you look carefully. Look. There's neon. And we've got a lot of grey metals in here, but then you've got the more interesting metal sharps. You've got chlorine, there's obviously some of the gases in there. Sulfur. There's cobalt there, the blue shade. Potassium, the world that catches fire when it touches oxygen, giving that sort of glow effect. There's copper, so chromium. Bromine, that's one of my favourites we've done. Selenium, that's the one with the red look. So yeah, we've got an interesting lineup so far. There's calcium, the very reflective world. Yeah, this is coming along quite well. I'm liking this. This is cool. So yeah, I hope you guys have the same passion as me for this system, actually. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. And yeah, the system's getting pretty big, but we're still a long way away from filling this up. We still have a lot more elements to cover. So there's definitely more where that came from, guys. So with that all said and done, hope you've all enjoyed it. Like I said, let's see if we go for 50 likes on today's video as well, guys. And also subscribe if you are new. It helps on the journey to 30,000 subscribers. And yeah, with that all said and done, make sure you have a great day. Stay safe out there. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.